Okay, we got my brother's Lightsworns. Without further ado, here he goes.
This is my deck profile. If you saw his Inzectors, you know he's talking a lot of smack. We duel a lot, so, you know, he's flipping me the bird. Whatever. Alright, I run 3 Lumina. Of course, this is the special summoning boss of the deck. I mean, milling 3 for Judgment Dragon speed, and you can get some extreme synchro and XYZ plays going if you have a tuner. So whenever Raiden comes out, it's going to be ridiculous. Or Plague Spreader. It's just ridiculous. Oh, we got 2 Lila. Don't yell at me because, you know, I should run 3, I know, but it just takes away another Lightsworn that I don't want to take out because I already have a good amount of names right now for Judgment Dragon, so I just find it a little too cloggy at sometimes, and it mills me out too quickly. So I only run 2. And with the Lila, I run 2 Raikou. Just a flip effect that no one really expects unless they know already that they're dueling Lightsworns. So you just destroy. It's a free destroyed card basically, and a free easy mill. And I run 1 of each of these right here. I only run 1 Arcus because he only mills 2, and he's not really useful unless you have a Lumina. I mean, Lumina, you discard a monster, special summon, or discard a card, special summon Arcus, and you got another XC right there, but that's all you get basically. Garoth, just a really good beat stick, and adds for some pretty extreme draw power if you can mill the Lightsworns for him. Jane, 21 attack with his effect and mills 2. He's a good beat stick. It gets over most things that are low level. I only run 1 Wolf because it got really, really annoying when I would be late game against someone and end up drawing Wolf and lose because of that. So I only run the 1, and he's pretty easy to get out. And then Aaron, because things like Zenmaines and, Maestroke are still cards that people still like to use a lot. I need to get rid of them, so just shuffle them back into the deck, just to troll, I guess. And it gives you 3 mills. And I run 1 Tributing card for the Lightsworns. I run 1 Celestia. You mill a lot. You mill 4 cards to destroy 2 cards on the field, which is really, really amazing against some decks that don't run a lot of back row. But most of the decks now run, I guess, 3 or 4 back row and a face down monster and just end their turn right there. So it's not going to do much, but hey, 2 cards is 2 cards and I'm not complaining. Alright, so now with the darks, because I run the chaos build, 2 Plague Spreader. It's really easy to get out, and if you, let's say you have a Lightsworn on the field and another Lightsworn on the field, and then you have Plague Spreader, synchro one of the Lightsworns and a Plague Spreader, and you have an easy 5, 6, or 7 synchro. And then next turn you're going to be milling that wolf that you just put on the top of your deck or something. So it's just easy synchroing plays with this deck. I only run 2 Necro Gardener instead of 3 like I should be as well. Again, I just thought I got really cloggy drawing into one late game against something like Mermails. They would attack 1, I would negate their highest attack, and I would still take like 5,000 damage, so I only run the 2 because I should be getting my effects off and my combos off a lot easier. I got my fancy Gores here. With having little back row in this deck because you want to mill out as fast as possible to get your Judgment Dragons easier. I'm not going to have a back row, and sometimes if my opponent dark holes or something, I'm basically going to have an empty field, and if I don't have Necro Gardener to save me, I have a free Gores right there. So it's just a good card. Not many people use it anymore, but I like to use it. 2 Tour Guide. 3 I thought about running. I just don't know right now. But 2 seems to be working fine. I don't mind milling 1 and then I'll end up milling the other one later on. But if I draw into one early game, it's pretty. I can get some pretty nice XC plays. Sorry, I won't pick up. And then for my main monsters, I run 1 Chaos Sorcerer for the Chaos build. I probably should run 2, but you know, YOLO. Honest is a definite must with all the light monsters you have. If you don't run Honest, you need to see a doctor. You got my BLS here. Probably one of my most prized cards, even though it's like really dirt cheap nowadays, but I love this card so much. It's so broken and it's just amazing.
Big Daddy BLS.
Yeah, Big Daddy Boss. And then I run my, of course, 3 Judgment Dragon.
No secret?
No, those are like $100. This card is just one of the most broken cards in this format ever. Your opponent sets 4, but they don't set a Bottomless or a Solemn Warning, but they set like 4 traps that help them with their combos. Judgment Dragon, pay 1,000, you just wipe their field right there. It's basically a basic field bomb. Oh my god, it's so awesome. Alright, then you got your basic Lightsworn cards. You got Charge of the Light Brigade, 3 Solar Recharge. This is just basic draw power, and one of the only search cards that you can use with this deck, so it comes in handy. And these all mill 2 for Solar Recharge, and mill 3 for Charge, so it just adds to the combos you can do and get Judgment Dragon out. Now, mid to late game, you can run out of cards really easily, so I run 3 Reincarnation. I thought about running Beckoning Light instead, but I thought it's just too slow, and I'm usually not going to have a hand, so I didn't see a point. Or I'm not going to have much of a hand, I should say. But Reincarnation is a prized card in this deck. It's just like Honest. If you don't use it, you should see a doctor. Foolish Burial. Get that extra Lightsworn in the grave if you can't seem to mill it. Get that Wolf to the grave to special summon it back on the field. You can send Plague Spreader to Synchro Summon. You can send Necrogardna if you're in a tight spot and you need to just negate an attack or two. This is your baby. I actually do run Rhoda, because I'll show you why. I'm going to show you all the level 4 lower warriors I can target with this. I got Necrogardnas, I got Aaron, I have Jane, I have Garoth, and those are all, that's what, 5 free cards that I can just add to my hand with 1 card. I mean, it's just such a good card that I thought it would be a waste to not use it. I also run Allure of Darkness, since it is a Chaos build. You know, you can have some extra draws, and extra draws never hurt any deck. And then I run my 1 staple Dark Hole, for, you know, obvious reasons. My 3 traps, the only 3 traps I run are 3 staples. Compulse, Bottomless, and Torrential Tribute. They are just... It saddens me that you can only have 1, or else this deck would just be ridiculous. But hey, you gotta deal with it. Alright, now to the extra deck. We have Wind Up Zen Mains, just for stall, and whenever you're in a tight spot, it's just there. Leviair to special summon your Plague Spreaders after they've been banished. Special summon a Lightsworn if you needed to banish it for Chaos, Sorcerer, or BLS or something. You got Leviathan Dragon. Just for a beat stick, and detaches to get your Lightsworns back into the graveyard. Acid Golem, because you can OTK fairly easily with this deck. So you can summon 3 Judgment Dragons and an Acid Golem, and basically your opponent's just saying goodbye right there.
And it's overkill.
Yeah, it's basic overkill. Abyss Dweller for things against, like Mermails that special summon from the graveyard, or E-Dragons that special summon from the graveyard, or Inzectors that use their Hornet from the graveyard.
No.
Abyss Dweller?
Hornet doesn't activate from the grave.
You
Keep
can
going.
use it from the graveyard with your monsters, yeah. Though, can't you?
No, the monster
Okay.
on the field equips it.
Never mind then, I'm stupid. Sorry,
No.
everyone.
No, you're
But
not.
anyway.
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, yeah, this just negates card effects from the graveyard. It's just not a bad card. You have your Mace Stroke, again, just for stall, and I guess if you want to use this effect for no apparent reason, I guess you can. A Black Ship of Corn, which I don't have as well as my Abyss Dweller. Just if you're against a Mace Stroke, or if you're against a Zen Maze, just summon him. Just detach and inflict 1,000 and send them to the graveyard so they don't get their effects off. And then one Utopia, because, you know, actually it's not a bad card, now that you think about it. And then for my Synchros, I have Cataster, of course, just easy. Librarian, because why not? Actually, I have no idea why I run Librarian, because I don't need it. But you know what? Who cares? I run it. Celestial Wolf. I recently traded out Gaia Knight for this, and oh my god, his effect is ridiculous. I just love doing that to people. Making their monsters lose 24.
Is that an ultra or a super?
That's ultra rare.
Oh, yeah. It's a good card.
I proxy Michael the Lightsworn Arc. I know he hasn't come out yet, but I cannot wait enough. I took out the Raiden proxy I had, but I could not get rid of Michael. He is just such a good card. I cannot wait for him to come out. Stardust Dragon, just, of course, negates your bottomless, or not bottomless, but Mirror Force and Dark Hole. Crimson Blader, just stops any, you know, shenanigans. And then Mistworm is another proxy that I have. When he's Synchro Summoned, you can shuffle 3 cards on the field to the deck. Up to 3 cards. So, that's just ridiculous. Your opponent's spamming the field with XEs, you Mistworm next turn. They can't do anything about it.
It returns him to the hand.
Or returns him, what did I say?
Sends him to the deck. I think you're talking.
Hands him to the, or yeah, sends him to the field, or hand, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
That doesn't really matter, it does the same thing, basically. Kinda. But yeah. Alright. I would enjoy some feedback, because these Lightsworns are my babies, and I love them more than anything in the world in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I would enjoy very much having some tips.
Also, when we go to a tournament, I feel as if, here's a tip for them, those 3 traps, if you're facing something like Insectors that are kind of trap heavy, 3 Roll Decree would be amazing also.
Yeah, I know, that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Making me think.
Well, this is the Lightsworn deck profile.
Yes, it was.
Any feedback is great. We enjoy that very much. Thank you all for watching. This has been a deck profile.